Hi, this is Diane. You're currently watching the Just Kidding Around show. Thanks so much for joining us. Each week we introduce our home viewers to crafts and hobbies that can be enjoyed by people of all ages. We also bring in local talents, and today I'm bringing in a local talent of sorts. I hate to call you a local talent because you're actually, can I say world known? Nationally known, nationally recognized. Maybe, yeah. I definitely know that. Yeah. So I'm sitting next to Alex Young. Hi, Alex.
Hi, Diane. How are you?
I'm okay. And I'm not sure if we're actually filming. Are we filming, Bob? Are we? Because there's no picture on the screen. All right, I'll just keep going. Excuse me for that. And I'm thrilled to have you back. You've done several shows before, so it's great having you back.
Well, thank you. It's been fun, several times. And
yeah.
I enjoy coming back. Yeah.
And do you want to look in the camera and say hi to somebody in particular?
To my grandchildren, Brady, Hunter, Grace, and Alex.
Oh, so is that 3 boys and 1 girl?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Little girl probably gets spoiled.
Yeah, she'll be 7 this June. We're
my
go
goodness.
Back Minnesota to see her for her birthday in June.
Oh my goodness. And I'm going to say hello to all the kids at Lydia Hawk and South Bay too. So this week we're going to use a different medium, is that right?
Right.
Before you did oil and you've done watercolor, and we're going to be doing pastels, is that right?
Right. So
are pastels more difficult to work with?
I don't know. I haven't done many. This is the first time I do one.
Now you tell me. Are you kidding me? Is this the truth? You've never done this before?
Well, it'll be interesting how to work out.
Well, let me brag about your watercolors then, just in case his pastels don't turn out. But no, Alex is so well known. I got to tell you the secret that every year, all 50 governors, of course, one from each of the 50 states, they all convene. They all get together for a conference, and it's always in a different state. Well, at least 2 of the times that it's been in Washington State, they have commissioned Alex to do the poster.
Correct.
And that's impressive.
Correct, yes.
That's impressive. And then on those posters, you get something from all the 50 states, or how would you do that?
No, just Washington.
Oh, just Washington.
Yeah,
so your
Washington.
poster represents Washington.
Right.
So that's pretty. And then the duck stamp?
Washington State duck stamp, yeah.
Yeah, and you've won that. And he has like 30 salmon up by, isn't that right?
On I-405.
Up on
I-90.
I-90, right. Yeah. Up near Bellevue, he has 30, if you see those salmon that are 30 bronze salmon, and each one's about 5 feet long, right?
About 6 feet, yeah.
6 feet?
Yeah.
They're up there, so I'm bragging for him, just in case his pastel doesn't turn out. And behind us, did we open? We can't see the screen, so I hope we open on one of these lovely pictures. What is this one directly behind me?
It's a tree down in the Squally Flat.
Oh, you're kidding.
It's actually, there's a tree out there that looks like that.
Oh, that's in the Squally Flat.
Yeah.
And is that watercolor?
Yes.
How do you get all that detail, like all those little pebbles? And
Use small brush.
Sorry,
Use a small brush.
Small brush.
Yeah.
You don't make it sound real complicated. Just get a small brush.
No.
Okay. All right. And then we also have a duck. Is that from the Nisqually?
That is.
Oh, no, 2 ducks.
No. That's a wood duck. Yeah, both of the wood duck. Yeah,
wood
ducks?
ducks?
Wood duck, and there's also a wood duck in here.
Oh, there's a wood duck over here?
Yeah.
Oh, I love wood ducks. Are they native to Washington?
We have them here. I don't have native, but we do have abundant of them here. In
we
Washington
have more
State.
mallards, don't we? But still, wood ducks are beautiful.
It's abundant in Washington State. Yeah.
And those are watercolor too.
Yes.
But we're not doing watercolors.
No.
We're doing pastels. Okay, let's do some pastels.
Okay, so the reason the other day I was going through my studio and I found this box, pastel. I mean, I haven't even opened it. It's just brand new. Haven't used it.
But it's old.
Over 40 years old.
40 years old. It looks like it costs 75 cents. What is that?
$1.60.
$1.60. Wow.
I mean, it was probably back in 1973.
And they didn't dry up?
No. So I said, I haven't done one before, so it would be a fun time to do it. So anyway, you see this is a color pastel. Got different.
That are 40 years old.
Yeah, and hopefully my wife asked, did you check them out? I said, no, I didn't check them out. Hey, they might crumble on you. Oh, no, they didn't crumble on me.
We'll just add some water.
So anyway, so what we're going to do is I'm going to do a sunflower. So before you can see a blank piece of paper. So time I'm going to.
But that's not a blank piece of paper. It's a dark It's what is
It's
that?
a matte board.
Matte board, and it's kind of a maroon color.
So anyway, so you see it's blank. So hopefully by the end of this session, we have something to show you. So before I do anything, I need to lay out what is sunflower so I know how to color them. So basically, painting or pastel is not important, just coloring process. If you notice, if you can give a child a coloring book, they can do a reasonable job because everything's already there, all they just color. So it's no different than painting. Painting, in my opinion, is if you can draw the thing, basically the rest of them just coloring process. So that's what, at least in my kind of painting. So what I'm doing, I'm gonna use a white color pencil. I'm gonna draw. We're like a flower.
A circle.
A circle. There'll be center sunflower. Then I'm going to draw the petals.
Do you usually look at something, or do you usually just freehand things from memory?
Well, in this case, I'm just drawing from, make it up. Not necessarily from memory, just make it up as I go. But if something more delicate, a lot more detail like I do with the wood duck, I really have a photograph to go by. So it's very loosely. I don't know if it's going to take us that long, but I'll go slow.
I wonder if artists remember things in detail more, because that's just beautiful. Just the way it is, even if you did nothing else. Got all the details there.
So as you can, I don't even see well enough, but so here's the picture or the sketch of a sunflower that I did with the color pencil. So now I know where the center sunflower is, I know where the leaves, the petals are, where the leaves are. So now basically it's a coloring process. So obviously we start with, it doesn't matter where we start. We're going to start at the middle. Now the sunflower, if you look at the sunflower, they got all kinds of different colors. They got greenish, yellowish, orange, different colors. So we can start with I kind of like to start with a lighter color because I always darken it then rather than try the dark color and lighten it. So we're just gonna.
And is a pastel sort of a chalk with some kind of oil?
Yeah. It's a chalk.
But it's not just straight chalk.
They do have, yes, it's straight chalk. They do have what you call a oil pastel, but it's just a...
Oh, okay. This is straight pastel. And is it acting okay even though it's 40 years old?
It seems to be.
Unbelievable. You would think it would just sort of dry up.
Okay, so for my wife Kathy, it works.
Get the message to Kathy. It didn't break.
So I got the center portion, and again, there's no, in my opinion, there's no right way or wrong way to do these things. So now I got some yellowish middle. I can put some orange color around it.
Is there a name for the techniques you're using?
No, I don't know. Like I've never done this before.
You're supposed to be an expert. You've never done it before.
You want me to lie?
No, I don't want you to lie. But I will say this, that you used to teach at the local college. You used to teach art at the local college. So.
No, I think it's, I don't really hang up too much on quote unquote techniques. Because, as long as it look good, it look good. Like the guy in, they got the Bazaar food with Andrew Zimmer. They say, if it look good, eat it. So if it look good, that's good enough.
All right.
I don't care what kind of technique you use.
Oh, some people are quite fussy about technique.
Oh, yeah, but they can't hang up too much, in my opinion. But okay, I'm going to go a little bit darker. I might even do some gray. Certainly, since we can talk about how to do this, we can talk a little bit after while we're doing this, right? So as I since the last time I saw you here, took a welding class. I don't know how to weld now. Welding.
Oh, really?
Took a class in Italian. Now I can speak Italian.
You're a welder?
Well, I took the welding class, yeah.
Well, when you made those fish for the...
Those are bronze.
When you did the bronze, I remember I followed you up there.
Right.
And that wasn't welding, but still, it was, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty. It's just sort of mesmerizing watching you.
But
So you're a welder?
Well, I mean,
how would you tie welding into art?
Well, right, I did I'm building a tomato cage, which is got different kind of shapes and stuff. Well, if you look around, there's a lot of art work I've done in metal sculpture. A lot of metal.
Yeah.
Basically.
I love the one in front of the public library of the...
Those are, quote unquote, they all basically is welding.
Yeah. Are you going to do a welding program for us?
No, I'll probably start a fire.
Bring some fire in here.
Yeah, I burned myself a couple of times. It wasn't fun.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's not good.
Well, it's just...
With chalk, you can't do too much damage, I don't think.
Yeah.
Now, you're using a lot of yellow.
Well, the sunflower kind of yellowish color, the flower itself.
Is your house filled with your work?
Yeah, it's only my work.
Only your work? You don't... That's not true. I bet you have your grandkids.
Kids, some of the kids.
Are they artistic?
Hunter is really good. He's 9 years old, and I see could be good in art if you put in mind to it. And Grace, the 6-year-old over in Minnesota, she too is really, really good. I think,
good.
Yeah. I mean, she's really, she could, if I do this, show it in front of her, do this sunflower, she can duplicate it.
Seriously?
Yeah, very, very easily. I mean, not my caliber, obviously.
Yeah. Oh, please.
I know one time I was back there to do some things for her, and she said, "You know, Grandpa, I think you're a little bit better than I am."
Yeah.
I said, "Yeah, I am
you
too."
should be.
Yeah. And
You better be if you're being commissioned to do art. Wow.
so now this is a again a basic setup. So I'm going to highlight some of those, and also put again, there's no right or wrong way to do things.
So what do you think right now of using a pastel? What's the advantage of using pastel over oil or? Well,
I think pastel has different looks to that. I don't know. I'm not, like I said, there are people who do, I've seen some amazing work done in pastel color. Yeah.
Really?
But again, another thing too, in painting or in artwork, color really is the material. Sometimes, you know, I mean, like I'm doing right now, if you look at the actual sunflower, the petal is basically yellow. But now I'm adding some orange to it. And,
yeah.
And I can take some green, add some green to that also, because again, there's no set things. If you look at some of the famous paintings, you know, the color is really material. It's just the.
Do you know which artist I think of when I think of sunflowers?
Yeah.
Van Gogh.
Yeah, Van Gogh, yeah.
In fact, for many years, this is an old fact, I don't think it's true anymore, but for many years, it was one of his paintings that held the record for most money spent on a painting. And I think it was one of his sunflowers.
Could be, yeah.
You'd think it'd be Starry Night, but I think it was one of his sunflowers. And it was, at that time, it was like 40 million. And I remember I used to think, how can anybody pay $40 million for a painting when the artist that made it didn't receive any of that money? And especially in his case, because while he was alive, he only sold one painting, you know?
I know.
It just seems unfair.
Yeah, I think you look at some of those. So now it's beginning to take shape, you can tell. So now I'm using white color to basically get some highlight on the petal itself.
With the white?
Yeah, with the white color.
Interesting, because you started with white.
Yeah, but again, colors is very, very immaterial. I can take just about any color, throw it in there, and still be.
So you'd put a black in there?
Yeah, I got some black around here.
Really? Yeah, I think I'd like that too.
But see, another thing, you don't want to overdo it, so kind of highlight some of those.
But you said any color, so you could put a blue in there?
You know,
Really?
blue. Pick up a blue and try.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, here's a blue color.
Oh, you are an artist. How you can pull it off. My goodness, it looks good. I would never think of blue on a sunflower.
I haven't either. Wasn't for you, I wouldn't have done it. I would have used blue, but
now let's put red. No,
red. All right, we'll pick up a
sorry.
red. That's a red. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
We're gonna put some red color here. No big deal.
So the purpose of this show is to encourage people to try.
Try and don't get stuck in one thing. And you want red? We'll put some red on.
Okay. Look at you. My goodness. Don't let technique intimidate you.
Yeah, don't get in this thing about you got to do techniques and just do it. If it feel good, looks good, that's all that matters. Another thing I want to do is like probably like so what I'm doing is I'm going to smear a little bit so it look like give it a fragrance.
Look like what?
Fragrance, you know, look like a halo effect, you know, look like it.
Oh, yeah. Boy, this would be a great thing for parents to do at home. Buy
So
their
kind
kids
of soften up the petal again.
Oh, yeah.
So kind of soften it up a little bit.
Is this a good starting project for kids, do you think?
Yeah, probably
If they're
would.
home
Yeah,
and
if
parents don't know what to do with them, tell them to
tell them what YouTube.
tell them to watch YouTube.
Yeah.
Yes, this show's on YouTube.
Yeah, there you go.
Look us up on YouTube. No,
I'm to get some purple. Throw some purple in there.
actually, to find this on YouTube, it's called Just Kidding Around, the name of the show, Just Kidding Around, Diane Miller, which is my name. But it seems like this would be a great starting a sunflower piece for kids.
Well, I think so because really, if you look at sunflower, they're not anyone look alike.
Okay.
So quote unquote, you really can't go wrong. I'm like, they can't say, well, this leaf is this petal is too long, too fat, too wide.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Again, you just see here, add some purple in there. I probably need some white on there.
Are you going to put a stem on it?
I will. Stem,
Okay.
you can do that. Pick up the green.
I think the only thing about pastel I don't like, that is really beautiful, but I don't like the feel of it on my hands. I don't like chalky things. In fact, your hands are a mess.
Well, yeah, because you're a teacher.
Uh-huh.
So then I'm going to put some, well, that's too light.
So you don't mind that dryness? But using gloves...
I don't know, I've never done before. you keep asking me things
And
I've
you
never
keep bringing that up. So,
Well, yeah, because I never done before, so I don't know how I like the dryness.
Well, I'm just thinking of a kid, too, running around the house,
Oh, they love
getting chalk all over. Now, why are you doing that?
That's the leaf.
Oh, boy.
Kind of bring it out a little bit. Bring out the... Well, you see a kid running around and use the sidewalk chalk,
That's true, too.
And that's a...
Could they use sidewalk chalk to do something
I
like
think
that?
so, because I think almost the same amount of chalk is chalk.
But they wouldn't use a plain white piece of paper.
You can, but I happen to...
Yes, but what you're using is a heavy, thick mat board
Yeah, I thought...
that they could get at a framing shop or a craft store or something.
Or you can use back of a
Specialty
box.
store.
Like,
Oh, a box, yeah.
Again, it's not...
I think this would be easier for a kid to start with than watercolor or oil. I really do.
Definitely, yeah, definitely.
Great starting point. Now, what if you Can you go to one of these reproduction places where they Xerox things for you in color?
Yeah.
Or copy things in color, I
Yeah.
shouldn't have said that word.
Yeah.
Could you take something like that and turn it into a little card and can they reduce that? Have you ever tried to do that with your work?
No, they usually don't turn out that good. If I'm doing it, I just basically go and had a photograph and then.
So you have done that before then?
Yeah, on my Christmas card, I just have a photograph and then print it on the.
Oh, on the paper.
On the paper, yeah.
Okay. Well, this year you can have a sunflower seed on your.
Okay, I'm not too.
And I do like that blue in there, by the way.
In fact, we might even throw some of the blue on the background. Maybe bring up some of the, maybe not. And this is easier, less trouble, less problem, cleaning up, easier for cleanup, and doesn't have to have.
Yeah, it seems easier.
And I don't think it's that expensive. I don't know how. I mean, you can do this just the chalk. I mean, like this is happened to be pastel, probably.
So would that have looked a lot different if you would have used oil pastels?
I think so, because all pastel is
Brighter?
a little bit different. I don't know how to describe it.
Creamier, brighter?
Yeah, they don't just have the same consistency like this do.
Remember our earlier shows when you try and teach me things?
Well, I mean,
I'm
you did
glad
okay.
you're not teaching me this.
You did good.
I'd probably chalk all over it. See, now, so you started with the simple sketch, then you colored in, and you have spent probably more time highlighting than doing anything else.
Well, kind of building it up like I'm just using different color now. Kind of build it up.
It's just beautiful.
And now look at this, maybe I should have some of you look at it where they think balance, where they look good. If it's not balanced, then I add something.
Balance? What are you balancing?
Well, you look at the thing, sometimes something that doesn't look right.
Uh-huh. Oh, and then you just fill it in.
Yeah, they fill a little bit more.
So do you
I
think
don't know.
it's
I've never
too
done it
empty?
before.
Stop
I
saying
really
that.
don't know.
You can't get away with that.
I'm faking it now.
I hope this show's taping because the television hasn't been on. That would be.
Yeah. Anyway, this is basically about what we did in the last 10 minutes, or 10 minutes, 12 minutes.
Well, yeah, we started about 5 minutes in the show. There's about 3 more minutes to go.
So that's one way to do it. I'm sure if I sit down and do another one, it could be probably different. But at the same time, there's no right or wrong way to do things.
So that whole thing was 15 minutes beginning
Yeah,
to
you
end.
feel good. That's all that matters.
And you've never done it before.
Never done it before.
How come the leaves? Yeah, I was gonna say the leaves don't. To me, in my opinion, they don't have as much chalk in them as the flower does.
Yeah, I don't want the leaf to quote unquote overpower.
Oh, you don't want the leaves to overpower the flower,
Right,
and that's intentional.
I want the flower to stand out more.
Okay.
The leaf, in fact, the leaf kind of more like red abstract. They don't really that.
Also, you keep the ones you've used separate. Is that right?
What's that?
Well, you don't ever put them back in the box. That's not a technique at
no,
all.
No, that was easy to pick it out and such. I dig it out of the tray.
So that's all it is.
Yeah, that's
no,
all it is.
I'm trying to figure out the secret.
I've never done it before.
Oh, quit saying that. You can't get away with that anymore. Oh, beautiful.
So anyway, there you have it, I guess.
So if people want to know more about you or your work, do you have a website or something they can go to?
No, I don't. I'm old school. I don't do things like that.
Well, you're on YouTube, so maybe we could gather.
I can't even find the last one to show on YouTube. What you told me about
You know what? Maybe we can gather together all of your YouTube shows and put them on a website.
Yeah.
And that would be your website.
Yeah, I can dance.
And then we'll take a few pictures of these and done.
There you go. Yeah, I'm old school. I don't.
You really, that's crazy you don't have a website. If I wanted to commission you to do work, would you do it?
Depends. I don't like to commission work that much because.
You don't anymore? You used to do it for the government.
When I needed the money. I don't get the money.
Oh, when you're broke, then you might call him.
No.
Broke.
Seriously, I think commission work, it's hard to satisfy your vision. They said, do my sunflower. Okay, so, well, I don't know exactly what in mind, you know. And you see what I mean? So that way, I should not even bother with it, you know.
You know, that actually looks like oil from a distance.
It could be. Yeah, it could be, yeah.
Kind of from a distance, I would think that almost. And you could just frame it like that, right?
Yeah.
Done.
There it is. Anyway.
Wow.
Whatever it's worth, whatever you think, there it is.
There it is. 15 minutes worth of work, and we're down to 30 seconds. So is there something you like to say in 30 seconds?
Well, I encourage people to explore their talents or do art. I always enjoy art. It's a great...
Do you think it's medicinal? Is it relaxing?
Oh, to me it's relaxing, yeah.
You don't find it stressful if things don't turn out the way...
You shouldn't. If it's stressful, you shouldn't be doing it, just like anything else, right?
Okay.
I mean, you shouldn't be a librarian. You find it stressful for you, right?
I better quit.
No, seriously.
I like it.
That's what I'm saying. That's why, if it's stressful, they shouldn't be doing it, right?
Yeah, I guess,
That's what I mean, yeah. So, no, it's, I just like to see people explore their possibility and stuff like that.
Well, thanks so much for coming back, Alex.
Okay.
Will you come back in another year or two?
Yeah, next time I'll do something.
When you find some more 40-year-old
Something I've never done before.
Well, thanks so much to our director. We call him Waldo. That's kind of his secret name. It's actually Tom, but we call him Waldo.
Okay.
And it's great having Jim back and Jerry back. Hi, guys. They're in the control room. And out here running camera with the robots is Bob Hoyt. So thanks to the crew that put this together. Please join us again. We're on every Saturday, Sunday, and Wednesday night. Again, it's a Just Kidding Around show. Bye.
Bye.